Hey guys, so last time I reviewed the figure for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, the Yoshi one, and now I'm reviewing the Bowser Jr. one. So the only thing that I had for the Yoshi in terms of complaints was that the accessories didn't really fit into his hands well, or the hat and the sunglasses didn't actually like stay on him properly. So yeah, but other than that, the figures are well made. So I got Bowser Jr. because he was the last one in stock in the store at the time when I went to the Walmart. There were 3 Yoshis, so I took one of them. And then there was one Rosalina left, I believe, and that was the one that I was buying for my brother anyways. I think there was a Mario still left, but basically Mario and Luigi and Rosalina were like almost sold out because those were the first ones that like came to the store. So yeah, so this one's Bowser Jr. They didn't have a Bowser, they more so had the mini Bowser in the castle, and that would have been fun to get, but I don't think I would play with the set, so I ended up just not getting it. Also, some of the stuff is quite pricey. This one is around $27 to $28, including tax for Canadian. So yeah. Again, realistic eyes, premium details, and then 17 joints of articulation. This one has less than Yoshi because Yoshi has 20 according to the box. As for he only has 17 joints. But this was the last Bowser Jr. that I saw on the shelf, so I just quickly grabbed him. For the Yoshi though, I actually did take a look at the different Yoshis that were there to see which one had like the least amount of defects, since it is a figure and I do want my figures to look as good as possible. Now there is a Bowser Jr. figure where it comes with Bowser Jr. and he's wearing the bib part as a mask, and then also you can put him in his flying mechanism. It's the machine that he's like floating on with the smiley face, and basically I think it is mechanical, like a robot one, because it says it can do the spinning action and stuff like that, but I'm not too sure how mechanical it is. But it was super expensive. I think it was closer to 60 to 80 bucks, so I ended up not getting that one. Oh my. Okay, so I freed him. He doesn't have any of the plastic or elastics on him to be inside of the inside of this plastic, but I think it's just because he's a lot chunkier, and so he doesn't need that much to be stuck in the plastic the way that they like indented it for him, so that's perfectly fine. So he does have his broom. This is supposed to be a paintbrush, like this type of thing. I'm not too familiar with his weapons, but yeah, it's this one. It does have his little logo on it. Super like, it's a bit like rubbery here. I think you can take it apart technically. But yeah, there's a lot of like metallic paints and stuff like that. It seems like there's not a lot of like paint defects or anything, which is great about this. These are made from the Jakks Pacific company. I forgot to say when opening the box. But yeah, but it seems like the quality is pretty good on these. It's quite hefty, like on the top part, but it is really nicely well done and sculpted, even for like this part, which is kind of a rubbery material rather than just a full-on plastic material. And then we have Bowser Jr. himself. He does have his bib, and it's painted very like well, like accurate to him, like his character. And then he does have the hair. His shell is so detailed. I didn't notice because in the box you can only see the front. So yeah, but the shell is like really well made. So I don't think you can remove the bib part of him, so it's just stuck on there. His eyes are really well sculpted, and the eyebrows too, I will say. And he has his one tooth painted here that is like sticking out. So you can move his head. However, it does not go 360 like Yoshi's. It just goes side to side. I guess because like his neck is so big, and then he can only look up and down as well. But no like 360 motion where you can get it to go the whole way around basically. So there's less articulation on his head compared to Yoshi. And then he does have the shoulder joints, which are actually more articulate than Yoshi's, so it can actually go all the way around. I think Yoshi's could only go like up and down for the most part, but like his actually rotate. And then he does have like the elbow joints. It's not too crazy in the articulation, to be honest. This is like very standard one. It's not like doing much. Like there's not that much range of motion to it, and I don't think it's even double jointed either. So yeah. And his thumbs are also stuck in the downward position, just like Yoshi's. However, he has more of a claw, and it's not like a really long finger compared to Yoshi's, so it's kind of just like here. I think Yoshi's like is a bit longer in terms of like his fingers and stuff, but he can open and close his hands like so. And then he also can do, well, it's not that great because his tail is going downwards more, but he can do a sitting pose like Yoshi, except it's not that much of a sitting pose considering his tail is like in the way of that. So yeah. But his legs do go a bit high up, and then he does have the knees for it. And then his foot turns like so. And the tail doesn't move or anything. But I think it is made out of like a separate part because there's a line to it, but it's not like moving or anything. So articulation is pretty standard for him. Some parts he has more articulation than Yoshi, and then other parts he doesn't really have that much, like his head. But overall, it's really nice. This part is like loose because it is a separate piece of plastic, and then he does have like pretty good range in motion for his arms. I do like how these figures can stand on their own. They don't need any like support basically because they're so hefty, like compared to like anime figures where it's like human characters, so the human characters have a harder time standing. I think even for Mario and Luigi and Rosalina, they probably can stand well on their own because none of them come with stands. But they seem to be like their feet seem to be wide enough that they should be fine. But I guess that's also the character design too, so it kind of makes it easy for that to happen. So yeah, so that's what he looks like. So overall, like no like paint smudges that are very obvious or anything like that, and it seems like the shading and stuff is really nice for them, and like the sculpting is great as well. And then I think he's supposed to hold this, but I don't know how well he will hold it because I know that Yoshi struggled holding his own stuff too. So you do have to get him to hold it like very specific ways. But overall, I think he can hold it fairly well. Oh, supposed to be the other hand according to the picture. It's showing in the middle, but the middle is pretty thick. Oh, you can just slide it. It is fairly heavy, like top heavy, because the brush area over here. So I will say, like, this part, like the tip, it does make it easy to topple forward. So I did end up balancing it on the table for you guys to see just now, but basically it is fairly heavy. It is showing on the picture that he's holding in the center here. However, this is a thicker part of the brush. It's actually curved like an actual paintbrush, so it's kind of like difficult for him to hold it in the center like the photos. However, holding it here, which is like the thinner part, is easier for him to do. But yeah, overall it's okay. Like, he can at least hold it. It's not like some of the accessories which Yoshi had, which he can't even really have it on him without it trying to become loose. Again though, you could use like the what is it? It's like the clear putty, basically, that people sometimes put on like the bottom of their figures to get them to stand. But again, you can use it, like maybe put a little on his hand so that way it will just stay on the palm of his hand rather than like having trouble balancing, since it's like a heavier like portion on top for the brush. But other than that, it looks really nice. The accessories are kind of like, I don't know, they look cute and they come with the figures, and they really, like, they add to the price of it as well, like the cost. So it does seem like it's a good thing that they included the accessories. However, I would have liked to see them executed a little bit better compared to like the what is it? Compared to like anime figures where the accessories do normally fit into the hands of the characters. It just feels like these kind of are a little bit wonky and not really like made that well, but they are cute that they came with the figures, and they do make up for like the amount that you pay for the figure. Paying $30 for a figure with joints and accessories is pretty standard, like in terms of like cheaper figures, so it's not that bad of a price for them. However, I would have just liked to see that they actually like worked a little bit better. So yeah, but I don't know if that's me being picky. However, like, I did have issues with the Yoshi as well. So yeah, but other than that, I really like them. Like, the sculpting is great, and then the paint jobs are good, and then having the accessories is a good idea too. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.